Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. As you can see from the title, today we're doing something slightly different. We're doing a Q&A, get ready with me. I've been on YouTube for a good few years now. I don't even know how long exactly. I think it's been 4 years. Maybe we're already in year 5. I don't know. But I have never done a Q&A before, so I thought it was time for me to do that so you guys can get to know me a little bit better. In my palette update from I think a week ago, I asked you guys if you guys had any questions. Also kind of based on my morning routine video that I did, I noticed that you guys liked to get to know me a little bit better. So that's a little bit of what we're gonna do today. I'm just gonna be doing my makeup in the meantime, applying my Too Faced Shadow Insurance first. And while I'm doing that, I'm gonna try and go through some of the questions that were asked, and yeah, let's just see how that goes. I might not be giving as much detail on what I'm doing because I'm already trying to do 2 things at the same time. So let's see how that goes. So I've split the questions up a little bit in sort of categories, so let's see if how this is gonna work out. Using the Hema white pencil as my eyeshadow base. I'm always applying it on my finger first. And I just said I'm not going to give you details about what I'm doing. Anyway, some like quick questions to get things started off. A question that was asked is, what is my favorite color? I really like colors and I like how they can affect your mood, but I think my favorite color altogether, which it has been for a while, is green. Maybe that is why I like plants and nature as much as well. But I think my favorite type of color, and I actually got a little of an example here, is kind of like that apple green type shade. So these two, or maybe something in between, that like is like really my favorite green tone. The next question was, what is my horoscope? My birthday is on October 12th, which makes me a Libra. I don't know if I'm like very much into horoscopes, but one, I guess, pretty prominent thing about Libras is that they're not that great at making decisions. Because like we're a scale, we need to weigh all the positives and the negatives, which is true. Even choosing which bag of crisps I want to eat, and I really love crisps, when I'm at the supermarket is a hard job for me to do. I just applied Sin from the Urban Decay shadow box on my brow bone. I'm actually using my Pandas eyeshadows mainly in my look today, because I'm gonna be filming my Pandas eyeshadows after this. Then the next question is, what is your favorite book and why? And that is such a hard question. I know it shouldn't really be, but, or it shouldn't be. Of course, like it's different for everybody. I read a fair bit. I've got a Goodreads account, which I'll try to link down below actually. And this year so far I've read 21 books, which I think is a fair bit. I think that's definitely more than average, although there are some people that read way more, like Rebecca from Penning and Stuff right here on YouTube. I was just watching a video of hers in which she read 14 books in 1 month. So 21 in a year maybe isn't that much, but it's definitely not a lot either. Anyway, my favorite book, I actually checked my Goodreads to see which books I rated the highest, and I think it's hard for me to say like what exactly is my favorite book, but I noticed that there is kind of a theme of the writer really writes from the perspective of the person and you really get into their head. I think I just really like it when you get a really good idea of what a person thinks, and especially if they're kind of different than what you are. So I really like chiclets as well, just because they read really, really easily. But some of the books that I've really liked are Wonder, which is a book about a boy whose face, I believe, just looks a little bit different from the usual, and the things that he goes through at school, like how the other kids kind of react to what he looks like and stuff. Or The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime, which is about an autistic boy that is going to try to solve this mystery about a dog. And you really get into their perspectives, especially the one with the autistic boy. It's just so interesting to learn about how their minds work. Also, my sister is lightly autistic, so that might have something to do with it. The Rosie Project is similar. It's about an autistic professor who's trying to find love and makes that into a project, which I also really liked. Trying to do think what I'm gonna do next. But yeah, those types of books are my favorite types of books, and that is why, I think. What am I gonna do now? Green. My palette is right here. So I'm gonna be applying the Army Green shade from the Jules palette on the outer part of my lid now. Next up are some questions about where I'm from and where I'm living at the moment. I am from the Netherlands, as I think a lot of you guys know, and somebody asked me where exactly in the Netherlands I'm from. I'm from the south of the country. Of course, the Netherlands is a really, really small country, so the south is pretty much in the north in comparison to some other countries, but I am from the south. I almost live in Belgium, and I live really close to a city that's called Eindhoven, which has an airport, which makes it really easy for me to get home, because the next question is about me actually living in Ireland at the moment. I live in Ireland right now, and the question was like, why did I move here? Why am I here? The main reason I moved here is because my husband got a job here at a place that he like really, really wanted to work for. And when all of that happened, I was just finishing up university, and I was like, you know what, I'll just join you. I'll see what it's like, and if I hate it, it's only an hour and a half flight to get me back home. So that's what I did. Once I finished off my studies 2 months later, hopped on a plane and moved here, which hasn't always been easy, especially at the start when I was trying to find a job, but in the end it worked out quite okay. I am I'm not upset about it, although it is hard to be away from family, especially now. It's been almost a year since I've seen my parents, and that is like very strange. We used to fly back to the Netherlands pretty much at least every couple of months, so I would see my family all the time, and it didn't really feel as much like, yeah, like I was living in a different country. But right now I can definitely feel it, and the fact that I'm living on an island basically, I think the only way for me to get away from here is to get on a boat or a plane or something like that. I cannot just get in a car and drive like you can do within like most of Europe. So yeah, that's not fun, but it is what it is, I guess. And then talking about kind of the current situation in a way, I guess. One of the questions was, what country do I want to travel to when everything is back to normal? Well, first of all, of course, I wanna go to the Netherlands, because I miss my family and I wanna see them and my friends over there. So that would definitely be the first place I travel to. But then when we are talking like holidays, I guess, I kind of feel like going to Italy at the moment for some reason, just to get some sunshine and some nature and mountains and nice food. I think that sounds really good. So once we can travel a little bit again, but I don't want to go too far, I think Italy will be a good option. But after that, there is so many other countries and places that I still want to visit. Luckily we were able to do New Zealand right before all of this craziness happened. I'm gonna use it as Smashbox Under Eye Primer to help with my too dry concealer. But yeah, apart from that, like I still really want to go to Canada. I want to see a lot of the countries in like South America. I want to see a lot of countries in Asia, like Thailand and Japan, Australia, which is not Asia, but yeah, I want to go a lot of places. But I think one of the first countries we're going to go to that is not the Netherlands might be Italy or maybe France, but I'm kind of feeling Italy at the moment. Then there are some questions about, like, since I guess I moved to a different country and I'm working here, are somewhat related to that as well. But I grouped a few different things together. So first of all, what did I want to be when I was a child? Like, I never really was this type of child that was like, okay, I know exactly what I want to be, what I want to do when I grow up. I've had a few different things. Like, one of the things that I think has been one of the bigger things that I've thought about at some point is to become an actress. I actually went to a, like, what do you call it, like pre-course for like acting school when I was still in high school. So on Friday evenings and Saturday I would go to this course to kind of get a feel for whether it was something that I would want to do, and I realized that I'm just too shy I think for it. Like, we sometimes was like, okay, act like a frog or do something weird, and I just was too much in my head with those types of things, and these are types of things that you need to do all the time in acting school. So I just decided it wasn't really for me in that sense. Although as a kid I've played in musicals, I've done a fair bit of acting, I've had singing lessons, and for some reason, even though I'm an introvert, I'm shy, I don't like talking to new people as much. It's a bit scary. I never know what to say and I feel awkward when I'm on a stage. It's different for some reason when I can sing or act, or yeah, I don't know. I just really like it. I haven't done it in a long time, but I feel like being on stage and those types of things are fun. But that is not where I ended up in the end. The next question was, what did I study? And I studied business economics in university in the Netherlands. I did my bachelor's in business economics, and I did my master's in accounting, which is very much not related to acting at all. For some reason, like economics, I never know how to pronounce that word, was one of the harder subjects for me in school, which is why, like, I liked the challenge and I liked the numbers and kind of the puzzles in a way. So I decided to do that because I didn't really know what I wanted anyway. Oh gosh, I didn't really cover this very well. It's not going away. So yeah, that's what I studied. And then I moved to Ireland. Initially tried to find a job in accounting, because the next question is, what do I do for work? I could not find a job in accounting. Like, I would send out a lot of CVs, but I didn't hear anything back from anywhere. So I ended up getting a job because of the language that I speak, which is amazing. Like, you go to university, you get a master's degree, and you get a job because you speak the language that you've done since you were like, what, 1 year old, 2 year old? I don't know when you really start talking, but yeah. So that was okay. Like, I just decided to take it because I had been looking for a job for a good couple of months, and I was like, you know what, I'll just start here. If I hate it, I have a 1 week's notice to begin with, so let's just see. And through that job, basically they realized I could do a little bit more than just speak my own language. So I grew relatively quickly, became a team lead, became a manager, and that is still kind of what I do. So I ended up in sales, and right now I'm managing a sales team, a SDR team, if you want to be specific, but I don't know if a lot of people that are not in sales know what an SDR is. They're basically the ones that like find the people and schedule the initial meetings. And that is a team that I'm managing. I'm managing a team of about 10 people at the moment, speaking all different types of languages. Yeah, and I never really thought that sales would be my thing, but I have learned that I really like management because I really like, I don't know, the psychology behind why people do things the way they do, which I guess kind of comes back in sales as well. But just creating a space for people where they can be their best, where they can feel like they're being supported and they want to help achieve the company, what the company wants to achieve, I really like. So if, like, I like figuring out what people's personality is, what motivates them, how I can help them, all those different types of things. I'm definitely not like your typical micromanager. At least I hope my team doesn't think that either, but I don't think so. Yeah, so that is what I do for work. Then there were like 2 questions from 2 different people that kind of came up around a similar topic as well, and that's more lifestyle related, I guess. One of them was, do you meal prep? And at the moment I don't, because I'm working from home. It is easy enough for us to actually find the time to cook in the evenings and stuff. But before, when I used to go in the office every day, I did meal prep, and then mainly my lunches. So on Sunday I tried to prepare my lunches so I didn't have to worry about what I was going to bring to work the next day. Here in Ireland, I think it's pretty common for people to like go out and get lunch at like different places and stuff, but in the Netherlands most of the time you just bring your sandwich to work and that is what you eat. At least that's what I've always known when it comes to like lunch and those types of things. So, and that's what I kept doing as well. And then sometimes I make something warm, sometimes it's like salads that are pretty much ready to go. So yeah, I do meal prep, but not really for the evenings, but more for lunchtime. So I don't have to stress about what I'm gonna bring to work, because my evenings are not very long and I want to make sure I don't have to worry about food and those types of things for the next day. I'm also the type of person that like puts out their clothes the evening before and those types of things. So yeah. The other question was, what do you think about the zero waste lifestyle? And actually this is something that I've been getting a little bit more interested in recently. The whole, I guess I've been looking into like the slow living movement. I don't know, a little bit more. And like my mind is all over the place most of the time. So I like the idea of just taking things a little bit more slowly, living a little bit more mindfully, those types of things. And the zero waste lifestyle kind of comes with it as well. Minimalism, same thing, like the less stuff you have, the less you have to worry about them. Kind of that story. So yeah, I'm interested in it and I'm trying to think about it more, but I'm not like all the way there yet. I don't know. I'm trying to learn more about it. I'm trying to be more conscious about it, but there still is so much more to learn. There still is like things to figure out, like how do you get these things? Where do you get them from? There is more like bulk store type things starting to pop up here in Dublin as well, because when I go to the supermarket, everything is wrapped in plastic. Like, yeah, which frustrates me a little bit at times. Like even the fruit and vegetables, like why do they need to be in plastic? So yeah, I'm definitely interested in it. And I think it's a good thing. There's no point in harming the world more than what we're already doing, because yeah. But it's definitely a process, and I'm definitely only in the very beginning of looking into it and learning more about it. I actually did a course on Skillshare about it the other day as well, which is funny. And no, I'm not sponsored. I wish people would sponsor me, but I'm way too small for that. Actually putting the yellow from my Creative Me palette in my inner corner, and even though yellow might be slightly weird because it's lighter than the other stuff, and because I put it on top of the white pencil like you saw I just put in my inner corners, it actually works. So yeah. Okay, and then we're moving on to, I guess, more the makeup type questions, and these are hard. The first one is what are my 5 favorite makeup products that I can't live without? That's a really hard question. I don't know if there are specific products. Trying to think, like, what are products that I do repurchase? I repurchase the Too Faced Shadow Insurance every single time when I finish it. So that, I guess, definitely is one. Can't live without is kind of a big statement though, but the Clinique, this is not the right one, but the High Impact Mascara is definitely my favorite mascara that I keep repurchasing, so those two for sure. Apart from that, I do pretty much always use concealer. This one is not my favorite though. The previous version of the Urban Decay Naked Concealer, that was definitely like my perfect concealer. This one isn't perfect for me, but concealer I like just because I always have like a little bit of something going on. I don't need a full foundation. I'm okay in that sense, but yeah, I like a little bit of concealer every now and then just to make me feel a little bit more comfortable. Most of the time I do my brows as well, but that I do with an eyeshadow, so I don't, whether that's like a thing I can't live without, like a specific product in that sense. Ooh, and then this is a hard question. I really like playing around with eyeshadow, but at the same time I feel like my face is just not complete without a blush. At least a blush. I think contour I can live without if I have to. Blush I prefer to have at least one, but I don't have like a full-on specific one that I would go for. And lately I've always been wearing like more bolder lipsticks, and I feel like my lips look really bare without. So yeah, I think a blush and a like bolder lipstick. But I really like my eyeshadows as well. This is such a hard question and I still get to pick 5. It's not just one. Yeah, I think that's what I would go for. Bolder lipstick, because eyeshadow is a big category, so it wouldn't really be fair for me to pick eyeshadow, I don't think. Then, kind of in relation to that, oh, I can talk like this. Okay, next question is, do you prefer shiny blushes or matte blushes? I think I prefer shiny because it gives a little bit of a shinier vibe already. And I'm just realizing I forgot to put on my shinier blush. But I do also really like highlight, which I forgot about with my favorites. I'm just gonna put this on top to give it a bit more shine here. So I think that kind of covers for it at times as well. Hard question. I think I'm gonna go with shiny blush here though. And then the next question is liquid lipstick or lip gloss. I just applied a liquid lipstick, but I think once I've used up the liquid lipsticks that I have, I wouldn't really repurchase liquid lipstick. I think I prefer like just a normal bullet lipstick over these. So I think I'd go with lip gloss. I really was very big time into lip gloss when I was younger and in high school. I would be like one of those girls that would always be putting on her lip gloss. So yeah, I need some lip gloss now as well. My makeup is kind of done, but I still have a few questions to go through, so I'm just gonna do that. What is your favorite eyeshadow combo? And that is a really hard one for me as well. Like, I really like just these warm looks, which is kind of what I created today as well. So oranges, golds, those types of things. But I do really like combining different shades with each other as well and playing around with that. This is definitely my go-to, so in that sense, I guess it is my favorite because this is what I prefer to do most of the time. But I do like combining like a yellow and green or a blue and a purple and those different types of things. But yeah, like boring maybe, but this is, I think, kind of my favorite type of thing. A little bit of darkness in the outer V and then some warmer shades on the lid and in the crease. Then out of all my Panda palettes, which was my favorite and why? Which is a really hard one as well. I'm thinking it maybe was my second one, which was a more colorful, sleek palette. The first one that I did was a Sleek Storm palette, which was a more neutral palette with some dark shades as well. So it definitely taught me how to use darker shades, but it was like easy enough. It wasn't easy at all, but the second one was a bit more colorful, and I kind of like when my Panda palettes challenge me a little bit. Right now I'm trying to pick my Panda palettes to go with the Panda's eyeshadows, so I'm trying to be a bit more safe, but I really liked playing around with that palette and the different colors in it, and yeah, learning a little bit more about what I liked when it came to colors. And that was the first palette that I like really did that with, because I tried to pan the whole palette. Let's see, oh, I actually timed this not too badly. The last question is, what do you enjoy most about the panning community on YouTube? And what is one thing that you'd like to change about it? What I enjoy the most, and I feel like this is what everybody says, it is the community around it and the fact that people are always encouraging each other in this somewhat weird thing. Well, weird. Like, I know a lot of us do it because we want to get use out of products we have, and it almost is kind of like a minimalist thing, although some people are still buying more stuff at the same time as well. I guess for me, it ended up being more of a minimalist thing, like learning what I have, learning how long it actually takes me to get to a product and realizing I don't need this much stuff. And that is something that's really nice behind it, like actually using your stuff is good. Even though when you're telling people that don't know about this community, yeah, we're all here on YouTube using up our stuff and hitting pan and things, and that is what's exciting to us. It's interesting, but we understand. We support each other in it, we encourage each other in it. If people are on a no-buy, we try to help them to stick to it and give them ideas about how to use their products and those types of things. So that is something that I really like about it. Something that I'd like to change about it, and that's a tricky one. I feel like sometimes we want to do too much, which is probably like, there are so many projects going on and I always feel like I'm missing out when I'm not participating in all of them. But it doesn't make sense to participate in all of them, because then I'm not making any progress on all my products anymore, and it kind of defeats the purpose. So I'm trying to not do too much, but it's really hard not to, because there's so many fun things going on. And I think that sometimes that is a little bit, we get too excited about all the different projects and all the different things we can do, that in the end we're kind of still not really working through stuff. Some people actually manage to do that really well. They do loads of projects and still actually make progress. I notice that I just don't get the same satisfaction when I do too many things at the same time, so I try not to do that. But I do at the same time feel like I'm missing out when I'm not joining in all the fun projects that are out there. So yeah, maybe that. I don't know. I'm just realizing I just got my tea. It's just getting cold here as well. Yeah, that's not warm anymore. I have mulled wine tea, which there is no actual alcohol in there, but it has this nice spicy tones to it, and I put some star anise in it. I love my spices. One more thing that I forgot about. I was just getting ready to film my next video and making sure my hair looked okay, and I realized I missed the question. Like, multitasking is not my best feature. Anyway, somebody asked me whether this is my real hair color, and yes, it is. I have never dyed my hair in any way. It's darker in certain places and lighter in other places just because of the sun. So I guess when you look at it from the side, it actually does have highlights, but that's like natural highlights from the sun. Even though we don't get much of it in Ireland, it still kind of soaks it up. So yeah, I like my hair color too much to dye it, and having to go all the way back to it at some point, even though I would love to maybe just do it purple or pink or something at some point, I haven't dared to do that, and I don't think it's gonna happen anytime soon. Or anytime at all. When I was younger, I would have these little strands of like fake hair kind of glued in, like you had a purple streak in your hair. I don't know if that was something that they did in other countries as well, but that definitely was a thing when I was, I guess, in primary school, end of primary school. But yeah, this is my real hair color. Yeah, but that is it for today. I feel like this video was long enough as it is right now. My makeup is done, so I can film my pandas eyeshadows now, and hopefully you guys learned a little bit more about me and you enjoyed. If you guys have any other questions, definitely make sure to link them down below. I might do a similar video in the future, I might just answer them there. Let me know what you guys thought and what some of your thoughts are on all these questions. Like, how do you feel about zero waste? How do you feel about the panning community? Anything else you want to share? I want to know. So yeah, that's it for today. Thank you guys very much for watching, and I hope to see you in one of my next videos. Bye bye!